Hello and welcome to UKVersus. We are going live. We are now live with part two of our custom character creation. We ended on a very powerful one. I am still Brett, no pre-release Pendragon, and I am still joined by Richard Pony Plumber.
I don't know why I'm a pony.
Uh, I was going to put woman, but I thought that was a bit weird.
That's fair. I mean,
It's because
the ponytail, maybe, I guess.
it's pony and woman have been doing very well in pre-releases. So it was like I just wanted to put one of those guys down that you'll probably end up doing on Sunday.
Yeah, we got ours coming up on Sunday. So yeah, hopefully that'll be fun. Should be.
I had my local qualifier yesterday. I made a mistake that I only found out today, and I got massively bombarded with cheating gifts because I was playing Toga Free like a dirty tryhard. I was playing against quite a newer player on Hawks, and I removed a Hawk's feather with a Deception Dagger. And I forgot. I haven't read the card in ages. I didn't know that if it gets removed, it goes to the bottom of the deck. Brandon didn't know if it gets removed, it goes to the bottom of the deck. And we didn't read the cards.
It's a static on it, so it's just as much your responsibility to uphold that game state as your opponent, especially if they're new. You big dirty cheater.
So yeah, I'm expecting once that goes on YouTube, once I figure out how to get it on the computer, the comments are gonna get bombarded with dirty cheater. But it was either way, you still get the funny moment of Brandon sitting down, going for his discard at the beginning of his turn and only picking up one feather, and then it's like, oh, sad times. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I faced off against Shigaraki 3, who sided into Hihei. First time going against Hihei, and that was tough. Hihei is nasty. I think Aaron had a great build for Hihei. If he'd have just utilized Hihei's ability a bit more, I'd have been in a lot of trouble. Then I was up against Hawks, and then round 3 I went into Mirio, who game 2 should have killed me, but checked to 2, committed all but 2 foundations, and I just decoy duplicated that attack, and I was like, yeah, no, I get to survive this
turn.
What
2 check was Mirio running?
0 gravity capture.
Is that the flash one?
No, hold on a second. I think I've been cheated. Give me 1 second.
Do you mean
zero gravity barrier? 0 gravity barrier. Yeah. It's a charge ranged.
Yeah.
So Lee is a good player. He's taken a draw. We've had draw. The last time we played, we got a draw. He was playing Ochako, and his Mirio build had a few punches, a few slams, but in fairness to him, the entire deck was built around double jab pummel. So he needed stuff that had charge.
Is this just a meme on you?
No, he plays a lot more. I only go down there for like big events, or if Robin has a light workload. So this is just how he builds it. He was playing on air as well rather than chaos. So he didn't get things like double jab pummel, like chef uppercut. Owen was playing Ibarra, and that was a meme on me because every time he's played against me recently, he's lost the double jab pummel, messing him up. So he wanted to play a deck that could play double jab pummel, chef uppercut better than I can play it, which Ibarra does. Ibarra plays chef uppercut amazingly. 6, yeah, there's 6. He's finally got his Manata. He didn't have to spend 30 quid at Card Goblin to get it. I did my duty as a Card Goblin shill. Lee was looking at... So Lee plays 0 gravity barrier for the remove the attack effect for 2 momentum.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you're playing A, you should be playing Cape No Return. He's like, I have no idea what that is. And I showed it to him. He's like, okay, cool. And then he went to Card Goblins, like, they're sold out. And I'm like, what about Genkai's Guidance? He went, it's sold out. What about a box? And he went, they're sold out. So I just messaged Richard today and I was like, you need to get more stock in. And he's like, we're gonna, but we've just got they've got a lot. I don't know if I can tell you how many, but they got a lot of girl power coming in for the singles. So that's gonna be great. And my locals are just waiting for them to hit so they can go buy loads of singles. So yeah,
I might want to get 3 Black Abyss, depending on how much they are.
regular or alt art?
Oh, just regular.
I did put it into my locals chat like June 10th. I'm coming back with Toga 3 and I'm putting Dark Shadow Abyss in there. Oh, but midnight is also an option. But that is not what the people are here for. Last time we ended on this absolute monstrosity of a card that was just release, struggling with studies, and infinite potential on a card. So I have also
so just to refresh for people at home, we are going to be judging these on 3 categories. So that's and they all out of 5. So that is how much they represent us as the person, how balanced they are, and sort of how much we want to play them, like how fun the card is.
that's correct. Also, when we get to Mr. Klaxos, which I don't know if we already have got to them, he has said that he needs to do a small errata to them because one of them he misworded because he was in a rush because it was like one of the last ones he could do. It was like one of the last people to enter. So he just needs to do a minor errata. I said I will let you decide whether that should go through.
Takesy backsies, old man.
Basically, it's because his card lets you discard a card, then play a card from discard, and he wants to change it to discard a card. You cannot play another card from discard. You can't just discard a card and play that card.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a minor thing, but anyway, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, I'll get to it, and you'll understand why he wants to make that change. But this is what we ended up on. This one was put as absolutely busted. My front runner, but I know that's going to get shot down for me having that kind of super defensive capability. I'm just going to quickly set this up so I can have both the list of people who made cards and OBS at the same time. So the next character is Brett Pendragon, the Master of Trickery, a 20 health for 7-hander with Chaos, Evil, and Void. Enhance twice per turn. Name a card type. Reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card was a foundation, and you named foundation, if the revealed card was a foundation and you named foundation, nothing. If you revealed an attack, play it as your next form with +3 damage. That foundation bit makes no sense. Response: once per turn, after an attack is played, put a
look at the bottom of your deck.
Yeah, you may add it to the top. I mean, that top ability with the foundation, I imagine it's meant to either let you draw it or just put it back. But I mean, twice per turn, be able to play the top card of my deck seems pretty. If it's an attack, I don't think there's many ways to stack the top of your deck.
No. So again, we'll try and maybe not spend too much on them this time.
There's the new Asuri attack that does go to the top of your deck if one of your attack deals damage. But yeah, in terms of symbol identity, I think it's pretty close to what I usually play. 7-handers, I've only really played one, but it's fairly balanced. Ability-wise, I see it's kind of Dabby 2, Dabby 3-ish. The damage is there. So, like, personality-wise, it's a solid 3.
Yeah. Like, balance-wise, again, it's tricky with obviously missing some text on that name foundation thing.
I think it's fairly balanced.
Until we find out what Kuragiri one, right?
Yeah.
And just being able to maybe, once per turn to potentially stack your deck or stack your next check and put something on the top. Or like stack, you see an attack there, cool, I'll put it on top so I'll draw it, or okay, I'll confirm my next check. I think that's pretty powerful as a once per turn, but as a once per turn on 7-hander, that's fairly reasonable.
I mean, it's more, I think it's what? So you can stack it and then use your enhance to play it as your next attack.
Well, I mean, no, that because when you're using your enhance, you look at the bottom of your deck, right?
Yeah, and then you may put it on top.
Yes. So the response is putting it on the top
And then
or
you
the
name the
bottom.
top card. You name a card type for the top card deck as the twice per turn enhance.
No, that's the bottom. The enhance is revealing the bottom card of your deck. So I quite like the
Oh, reveal the
interaction.
bottom card deck. Okay, yeah, no.
So you look at the bottom and it's like you see an attack. So you've got some choices there, right? I could leave
Yeah.
it there, so it means I know I can do my enhance, or okay, I'll put it to the top and I'll flip my
I mean,
chivalrous whatever to draw it.
the fact is the bottom card. There's no real way to manipulate the bottom of your deck.
No, only through your response, right? So you get to do it once per turn. So once per turn, you sort of can, in theory, guarantee what you're naming, and then once you're kind of blind flipping. So it's cool. I don't think it's necessarily powerful, but in theory, if you guess right, you could be a 9-hander, right? And in theory, if you hit attack twice, you're getting +3 damage on both of them. Like this feels like a 3 to a 4, like maybe a 3.5 on balance.
I'd go with I'd probably go with freeze among through the board essentially.
Yeah, yeah, I can buy that.
White Raven. This is the first card we've looked at so far. We've got another
Is
20.
my camera just completely dead on your end, by the way?
Is that?
My camera. It's not on the screen.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, I must. There we go. Sorry, it's just. I must have accidentally minimized it.
You fool. Yeah, I think 3s across the board is fair. I mean, it's an interesting one. Certainly. Like I say, it's reminiscent of Kurogiri one.
So now we're going over to a card for you. Richard Plummer, Old Man. UKVersus number 10. After an attack is played, its damage doubles. I guess that's static ability.
Yeah.
Which is very, very strong just at the bat. Enhance, commit, destroy a foundation, reduce attacks damage to 0. Response twice per turn. After you block an attack, draw one card. Playable while committed. Enhance, this attack gets +2, -2 speed. Your rival may commit one foundation to cancel this effect. This is an 40 health for 40 health for 6-hander with death, all, and water.
I don't know why people keep giving me the death symbol.
Because if they gave you fire, you get plus ultra prominence burn, and then going double does not seem fun.
I mean, balance-wise, this is like a 1 or a 2, right?
Yeah, no,
even just again a 640 is sort of playable on its own. Enhance, commit, destroy a foundation. So what is it? It's the invincible body. Is that one right? And then
yeah, invincible body once per turn.
Yeah. After you block an attack, draw one card. Really good. So, and then yeah. This feels like a 2 for me. I mean, yes, I'm an old man. I enjoy the all the water symbols. I guess maybe it's a 40 health just because I'm an old man and it's trying to indicate my age.
Maybe.
I don't know about the after an attack is played, its damage doubles. I mean, that's a bit gnomery, right?
That's nuts.
Yeah. So balance-wise, this is a 1. Would I play this card? Well, yes, because it's cracked. I'd say it's like a 2-1-4.
2-1-4.
That's my gut feeling on this one.
I mean, yeah, the one basically the less balanced it is, the more playable we're going to say it is. That's just the way it's going to work.
Yeah, and actually, I suppose the playable one is sort of how fun this is, right? So,
So this one might
Yeah.
be a bit more difficult for us to judge because it is one for both of us. It is
Okay, that's fine. We can judge it collectively.
UK versus overseas challengers. Keyword
Mhm.
ally. Yes, we stand with our LGBTQ plus community friends and players, and non-players, just anyone.
No, they have to play UKVersus.
That's Richard's stance. That's not my stance.
I mean, and again, that's not just the LGBTQ plus community. That's everyone. They're all dead to me if they don't play university.
Again, that's Richard's hot take. I don't stand for war crimes or persecution or anything in that in any sense. It's a 28 health with 6 as a 600. Again, that's immediately speaking to my favorite characters.
Mhm.
Enhance once per turn. Remove the top 5 cards from your discard. This attack gets plus X damage or minus X speed. You may draw X cards and discard X cards. X equals the number of card types removed. So the
Okay,
maximum
so
would be 5 if you had one of each type. Attack,
it's
foundation,
unlikely. So we're looking at 2 to 3, maybe. Right.
Yeah.
You're likely to have attack and foundation. You might get an asset in there. You might get an action in there.
But yeah,
So
the chances are is you're going to be consistently always getting once per turn. You're going to get minus 2 speed or plus 2 damage, and you're going to draw 2, discard 2, which is very double jab pummel.
Mhm.
Response: remove 1 foundation after an attack is blocked. Your next check gets plus 1. That's worse than Chaco 3. A Chaco 3 has response after an attack is blocked. Draw a card, discard a card. Your next check gets plus 1.
Okay, but you just sort of you commit a foundation for an effect. Or
We're
whatever.
getting some clarification from Kai that the 40 health character was supposed to be a 500.
I mean, I said no takesy backsies, but even then it was cracked, right? So I don't think it changes much. I'm
Yeah,
afraid, Kai.
it would have had to be a 400 minimum to
Yeah,
justify the
if it was a
40 health.
four-hander, then it might have got a bit more points on the balance size. But yeah,
I think this is fairly balanced. It utilizes
Yes.
using more card types.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can sort of sometimes be happy with that. I mean, I think it's, if anything, it's a little underpowered. They block my attack. I'll give +1 to my next check is fine. Just
But if you block, you also get to do it. It's the removal of a foundation. It doesn't have to be a ready foundation, I guess.
No, exactly. You can remove creators, and it obviously works on blocks as well. Like you block their thing, I can remove foundation. Okay, I've now got an extra +1 to my next block. All chaos fire seems like reasonable symbols for the collective.
I think removing the top 5 is also a lot because you can literally use this effect 12 times and then you lose the game, and that's if you're
you'd hope to have killed them by then, right?
Yeah.
And like removing your discard, I'd say is less of a cost than removing from the top of your deck, like Dabby 3, 2,
I mean,
7, whatever it was.
Ideally, they're kind of
Because in
the
theory,
same.
your discard is like a dead resource. However, it's something you may not necessarily get to do like early, right? I suppose because if you build 3 turn 1, and then turn 2, okay, I play my first attack. You might only have, unless you reviewed a card, you've only got 4 in discard pile.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the way you use that resource. It's very kind of burning out, and if anything, this year does feel a little underpowered.
Yeah, I was going to say the cost.
I think it's reasonable. Like the effect is decent, but yeah, you're not going to get to do it many times.
Yeah, I think this is a solid 5 for design because it's underpowered, so it's been overcorrected.
No,
Possibly
yeah,
4.
but again, that balance wise kind of factors into that. So I'd say it's a 4 for balance for me. Maybe even a 3, just where I don't know.
I was going to say
this could have been X+1. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, I think it's a 4 design wise because it's only slightly underpowered. There's just a couple of numbers, a couple of things that need to change. It's a 3 for playability wise. This is a fun one I take to locals. It's not one I'd play at regionals.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's fun enough. It doesn't sort of grab me hugely, but I think it does some cool stuff.
I,
Like it's using a resource that doesn't get used a huge amount, right? The removing cards from
yeah,
discard. So
I
it's certainly an
think.
interesting one and
I,
representing us.
I mean, it's got remove, which is the dabby effect. It's got uh,
It lends
gives
itself to a
damage.
self mill, right? Like
Yeah,
if you're self milling, you're powering out your ability. So, and that's something I like. So I think again, like a 3 maybe on that one.
I'd say 3/4/3 is a solid one. This one because you've got
Yeah.
fire, so you get access to Endeavor stuff as well. So one man in
Mhm.
front of is going to be great with this.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 4 3. Like it's an interesting design of just using that discard pile, but when you cycle, you're fucked.
This is a very weird one. I think we're going to get through this one quite quickly.
Hmm.
This is UKVersus keyword content creator. It's a 17 healther as a 7-hander with enhanced. Build one foundational asset from your hand. It gains doomed, and doomed says this card is destroyed at the end of the turn.
Right. Are they trying to suggest that we, as a podcast, are doomed?
I,
Death, Earth, and life is a weird combination.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have stats. I mean, the defensive side of it seems really cool, especially the 700 because there's no cost to the build, so you can just keep spamming out foundations if you with
Yes,
this.
but Spinner does this, and Spinner's terrible, and he gets to do more stuff and keep the foundation. This is like
But
the
spin
worst
only gets to do
spinner.
it once per turn.
What?
Spin only
Yeah,
does it
but
once, is it?
you're going to run out of cards eventually,
I
and
mean, you've
sometimes even
got
Spinner
death
doesn't have
right
the cards.
there. You've got death, so you can run all the draw cards.
Yeah, you just build everything, and then you just die because you've got no cards in hand.
But you can just keep drawing, so you can play settle all debts, then flip it to draw a card. You can,
Yes, and then does it lose the doomed ability? Who knows?
no, no. It says destroys. It gains doomed. I don't know. I guess if it's flipped, it loses that ability.
Yeah, I guess if you've got ways of flipping it, but still, like, it's just a bit of foundation ramp.
That would have to get judged. But I mean, yeah, I'd literally just sit there with a load of flip stuff. So like,
Yeah, I suppose if it's an ability like doing discard like a static,
I
once
mean,
it's flipped, it doesn't have that anymore, so that's fine. So if you've got some way of flipping it, then it
yeah,
doesn't.
if you can just like if you say flip selling or debts, draw into learning the standards, then go I'll enhance play learning the standards. I'll take this damage, remove learning the standards because it's going to get destroyed anyway, and go yep. Now you got to play non-attack.
Yeah.
Having life meaning you can go. I'll build in new training method. Response building this foundation committed.
Okay. I mean, yeah, this feels like a twos across the board to me.
Yeah, it
In
doesn't
fact,
really. It doesn't encompass. I'd say probably more of a 1 for us because we're not heavy builders. We're not. We haven't done
am I
like
not
the
doom and
teaching.
gloomers? I don't know what they're on about.
But I see the appeal of this. I just don't think it encompasses us as players, and I don't think it. I think this could have been a 2021 Helfer because it doesn't have stats on face or like
Yeah.
its defense is based on what you draw. Its symbols are very good for that, but still not
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
This is a big wall of text. I'm gonna have to go over to this side because that is a big wall of text. This is Brett Pendragon Chaos Emperor. It's a villain monster mage. Rude. Once per turn, search your deck for an attack with X or lower difficulty. X is the number of cards you've removed from the game.
Half a
Round it
number
up
of those
and add it to your
cards.
hand. Enhance
Okay.
during the end phase. Add one card from your opponent's discard pile to your removed from play pile. That can't be legal.
I mean, these are staff cards effectively.
Response: roll a d6 after.
Enhanced during your end phase. Well, that would be just be a response end phase, right?
Yeah, that'd be sense. Oh, yeah, because the cost is during the end phase, which is impossible. Yeah. Response: roll a d6 after your opponent plays an attack. Respond with one of the corresponding rolls. So you don't get to even choose after you go the response. 1, add the attack back to your opponent's hand. 2, your opponent loses 1 health. 3, you lose 2 health. 4, your opponent's next check gets -1. 5, your opponent builds the next foundation they play. Or 6, both players destroy one of their opponent's face-up foundations.
I like this. This is
Ah,
cool. Um,
the second, I'm going to go with that one. The first response to me feels a bit powerful.
yeah, but that's fine. I mean, it might not be a balanced thing, but this looks like a fun thing to do, right? And you like the care symbol. It's got like destroying. People blowing up foundations. You do enjoy a gigantic explosion. Um, going in. As long as you get 8 cards removed from play pile, you can always go and find your double jab pummels. Um,
Uh, for me, it's more with how much you can remove attacks with with chaos already with Genkai's Deception Dagger,
yeah.
Cape, Confused. Being able to do it during each of your uh enhanced steps feels nuts.
Well, what the dice roll thing?
No, the response just being able to remove one of the attacks and then just do it on all the other stuff as well.
Well, no, the response would be like response during end phase, add 1 card per discard pile to remove from play pile, right? But I think maybe, yes, to balance that should be add 1 card from your discard, remove 1 card from discard pile from the game. Like, so it's a ticking time bomb and you're removing your own stuff.
Yeah, more of a impactful cost.
Yeah. But this feels like a fun character.
Yeah, this is.
Like I like the D6 thing, like, and half them being positive, half them being negative.
I mean,
Um
the you losing 2 health while your opponent loses 1 feels like a bit of an offset.
uh
I think.
yes, that's fine because if you roll a 1, that's like horrific for them.
Yeah,
Like you've got what? Uh 1 is bad for your opponent, 2 is bad for your opponent, 4 is bad for your opponent, and 6 might be, 6 is kind of mutual, right?
yeah.
So that there's 3 bad ones for your opponent, 2 bad ones for you, right? So that sort of feels like it balances out.
Yeah, I guess. I'm also just not a big fan of RNG based abilities. I'm not Joey Wheeler. I don't need to rely on a dice roll.
Fair. Like I think it's cool and
I
fun.
think
Like
ideally, what I would have preferred in a different sort of context, one that doesn't require me to also have a dice on hand at all times,
mm,
would be reveal the top card of your deck and based on its difficulty, get an effect.
yeah. And I think it's trying to lean into the chaos thing, right? It
Yeah,
being a D6 roll is chaotic, so I get it. Um,
but that's controllable chaos because you can also stack the top card of your deck with chaos. So you can, if you can stack a 1, or you can look at the top card of your deck. You can go, okay, this is the effect that's going to come out. Do I want to use it and stuff like that? It gives you a little bit more control, but I understand where they're coming from here.
hmm.
It's just I'm chaotic, but I'm not. It's I'm more order from chaos than just chaos for chaos' sake. That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, how do you want to rate this one then?
In terms of personality, I think uh, probably with a 3. That the dice
Mm.
roll is very very cool. It's just not who I am, but the other 2 are very very cool. Power wise, I think this is relatively powered. Like you said, the dice roll ability essentially is a 2/3 negative to a 2/3 negative for the opponent to 1/3 positive.
Mm.
Uh,
Once you hit like obviously you need to get to like 8 cards in your RFG pile, right, in order to start actually getting attack. So that can take a little while to get going. But once it gets going, just tutoring attack every turn is very, very powerful and it takes a while to get going. Like balance wise, this might be around a 3, maybe
I
3.5.
think the biggest thing is you run into the hasty riff problem,
Hmm.
where I'm just once per turn you get to go get a 0 diff.
No, because it's only getting attacked, right? This is only
Oh,
cheering
attack.
for attack.
Okay, it's only cheering for attack. Okay, yeah, then yeah, you need a minimum of 6, to get a free like Rivet Stab or Cage of Hell.
Hmm.
So yeah, you need a minimum of 8. I think that brings it down honestly in design because how often do you get 8 things in your Roof and Play power before?
Well, you get to do one every turn, right? So, but like, um, like I think it's
Well,
probably
it's during
fair,
your
but
end phase, so you need to get to turn 8.
yes, unless you can like supplement it with other ways, right? With other
Yeah,
RFG.
I think again this is a 2 3s and probably a 4. This is probably something I would bring to locals. It's a
Hmm.
very fun and cool card. It's not if you lost off that you lose 2 health, it would just be funny.
Yes.
So I think a 3 3 4 is more than generous with this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But for,
I could
again,
even see like a 3-2-4, right?
hmm?
I could even see a
Yeah,
3-2-4.
that's what I think a 3 2.5 and a 4 because it's about bang in the middle. Then we move on to this is not the one, but this is one of the ones that has been eagerly anticipated. This is Richard Plummer SOB. 21 health 7-hander with the co-host trait.
Co-host.
I see it. I see it as Scrubs. We're both co-hosts, but on my paycheck it says host, and then your co-host. Static. Your attacks with a control check of 1 get +1 speed, +2 damage.
I'm in.
Enhance discard 1 card. Your next check to play a card gets +2, and enhance commit if you have played 2 or more attacks this turn. Search your deck for an attack with a control deck of 1.
I guess that's put
Yeah,
into
put
hand,
it into
right?
hand. Yeah. Air Chaos Void.
I mean, yeah. So obviously, SOB is both Son of a Bitch and Storm of Blades,
Yeah.
right? I like it.
You like the fact it's actually
Again,
got the Star Blade symbols?
yes, I think that's very deliberate and that's good. I like the discard 1 card. Your next check to play a card gets +2. Like I think this feels fair, because it's all based around playing 1 checks,
Yeah.
right? So like, the top of the the static and the enhanced don't do in the bottom enhanced don't do anything if you're not playing 1 checks. So and discarding a card to get +2 to a check is powerful, but not cracked. I don't think.
I mean,
+1,
it's
+2.
very good defensively,
Yeah.
but I mean, uh,
Well, like if in theory, like defensively, it's like discard a card for -2 speed, which is the same as what body rejuvenation.
yeah. I think the
So
big thing
on
here
defense, it's
is
sort of balanced from that perspective.
yeah. I think the big thing here is you can just sit there and build, uh, playing 2 because once you've played your second attack, you get to go get your 1 check.
Yeah.
The big thing here is you can't use the enhance isn't playable while committed. So once you commit, that defensive option goes away. So you need to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
I think if the discard 1 card your rival gets your next check gets +2 was tenacious in your rival's turn, would be very cool.
Yeah, but that's fair. It's like it's it's a bit all in, and that's what
Yeah.
Stormblaze is. So that's fine. And it's like, okay, I play my 2 or 3 attacks. I then discard a card. My next check gets +2. I then enhance commit. I'll go get 1, and I've now got +2 to the check to play it, right? And that kind of is a little bit, references the other half of the Storm of Blades uh, pairing of whatever the bloody hell the card is.
Barrage?
Yeah, is it Piercing Barrage?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, the one that gives +2 to check if it deals damage, right? So, it feels balanced because you're it's saying you have to play controlled 1, you have to play 1 checks, +1 speed, +2 damage ain't crazy. Like tutoring for an attack has to be a 1 check. That's very powerful. But you are committing. The static still works while committed, right?
Yeah,
But you can't use the other enhance.
that's the big thing. Yeah,
The tutor should probably be a once per game. I think it'd be more balanced if it was a once per game.
that's fair.
Good night, Kai. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Balance wise, I think it's probably a 4. I think the bottom. I think everything is totally fine. I think it's that bottom. The tutor being able to do that conceivably every turn is very powerful. And that's why it doesn't quite get a 5 on that one. I would play the shit out of this.
Yeah,
I think it's either a 4 or 5. In terms of referencing me, that's again another. I'd say a 4 or 5.
my prediction was 5-4-5.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think I'd go with a 5-4-5. Maybe a 4.545.
Oh.
Like it's one note, right? So that's why I'm
Yeah.
going to dock it the half a point, but it is.
But I mean, it does everything you want it to do. It plays with around 1 checks well. It gives stats on face, and it lets you tutor for Stormer Blades. That's everything you want to do in a card.
That is true. Yeah.
But if you want to put it, if you want to knock it at half a point, yeah, that's fine. Let's move on. You already entered. This is just continuing from last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you entered on Sunday, you're already entered into the draw. So don't worry too much about it. But it's still going because we only had 4 people on Sunday, so I thought I'll keep it going. Apparently, we got the next one is immediately gives me the ick because it's a 27 health for 6-hander. It should be 28, always 28. Brett Pendragon, lover of chaos, which is very cool. Co-host, so I got it as well. Enhance once per turn, discard 1 card with a difficulty of X. You may play 1 card from your discard pile as your next form with the same difficulty as the discarded card. No check required. If you discarded an attack card, it gains throw. Response once per turn after you check an attack to play a block, you may recheck. So this is the one that they wanted to say I can't play the same card that I discard.
Oh no! Did I just give Steve's entry really good rating? Damn it.
Maybe Steve started off with me. You don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, discarding a card. You play 1 card for this card's next form, the same difficulty as the other card. No check.
Yeah, so it's got Chaos, Fire, Void. I mean,
after check attacks play block, you may recheck. Like giving a random attack throw and just auto checking, I think is totally fine. In terms of because you're not really giving any stats, right? And that's okay.
I mean, no, but I mean, being able to go attack, rejuve, discard, repeated smash, play repeated smash as my next form with throw, getting the momentum because I discarded during this enhanced step.
And well, you discard a repeated, or just and then hope to have another repeated.
No, because I get to play that repeated from the ability as it reads now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It probably does need to play. You can't just discard a card and play that same card.
Because playing repeated and then be able to play it with no check required is insane. Again, this is essentially Pinky and the Flame. This is Mina 1 and Dabby mixed together quite well.
Yes. Yeah.
The once per turn after you, I'd probably like to have seen this just be after you check it once per turn after you check it, after you check an attack, recheck, because this is just defense. This is just defense bait, but it's still good defense bait. But no, I like this. I think in terms of me, yeah, you shouldn't be able to play there. So for me, this is very powerful on Void and Fire as is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not giving stats, but they are both powerful abilities, right?
Yeah,
Of sort of hacking your checks coming and going. Well, not hacking, but sort of confirming checks coming and going. So it's very good.
I like
Um,
the idea that I can discard a uh, Ultra Regen and play a Plummeting Punch.
mm, yeah, yeah.
That's
There's sort of Nezu esque moves you can do here,
yeah,
right? It's like, okay, fine. I've run out of attacks, but I really want that struggling with studies in my discard pile. Okay, I'll discard this other one diff
yeah.
and build the struggling, whatever. Like,
For me, it just feels like I can play this like Elder Toguro, I can play this like Mina, I can play this like Dabby,
hmm,
and just do it kind of nutsly. And the fact that it's on Chaos means I get to Randos Spirit Gun, and which means I can do it
yeah,
again. Let's go.
yeah.
So
This feels like a 4 probably for you, maybe.
for 4.5 for me, if it gave damage, this would be a perfect 5.
Hmm.
But the fact is,
Balance wise, again, probably
I'd say 4.
yeah, 4. If
Um,
anything, just a little underpowered, just because it's not giving stats.
yeah.
Like the check stuff is cool.
I think if the check was once per turn, just on after you check an attack,
Hmm,
that goes to 5. Or uh, if it gave damage in maybe even instead of throw, that would be
hmm.
like discard a card with difficulty of X. You may play the next. You may play one card from your discard as your next form. No check required. It gains X damage. X equals to it gains damage equal to half of X. X being the printed difficulty.
Yeah. Or, again, maybe could have tied into Dabby. So you could either give it throw or +3 damage or +1/+1, like
Yeah.
giving you the choice. I think that might have been a cool
I
idea to
think
do here.
playability. This is a solid 4/5.
Yeah, I'd say a 4.
I will always play something that lets me just play attacks with no check. That
Yeah, but we can't keep giving Clacko too many points.
especially
This is
Void,
why not knowing who they were was the move.
especially Void, just be able to go punch, discard a card, play repeated.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And this lets you play like almost a semi-tutor package, right? Like you enjoyed doing with Elder Togro,
Yeah,
right? Where you just played lots of one-offs and you hope to sort of check them. So again, I think it's done well. I hate to compliment the guy, but this feels good.
it's definitely a very very interesting kind of build.
Mhm.
Next we have a nice, simple build, and then I think we're almost gonna wrap back round because we've only got a couple left. Some people still entered after we were done. Someone entered today. Who entered today?
Out them, shame them.
I don't know the names. Yeah, two because basically, two people entered yesterday, which is nuts to me, and then we had a couple. It's like once I'd created the program and just like built the cards, that was it. You kind of like couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, the next one is a 29 health for 6 hand. I'll forgive it. Ret Pendragon. It is a Chaos Death Void deck with Enhance. This attack gets +3 damage. If it's blocked, your next check gets +2. Love it. And Form. Discard Momentum. Discard 2 cards. Draw 2 cards. Love it. Simple, basic, to the point.
Yeah. So it's W1. If it's blocked, your next check is +2. Does that reference anything not particularly I can think of?
It's double jab pummel esque.
Oh yeah, referencing double jab pummel, right? So that's
Yeah.
Dabby 1, double jab pummel, because obviously you get the +2 for the check for either way
Yeah,
of double
you
jab
get
pummel,
you get
right?
it regardless. But
And
this is
the
basically
form
saying
is double jab pummel. So yeah,
this
I'm like,
uh I think I would have probably liked to see a little bit of a switch. So like maybe discard momentum. This attack gets +4 damage with referencing cheerful uppercut, and then if this attack is blocked, your next it just enhance your next check gets +2 if it's blocked. Discard 2, draw 2, or just
No,
how.
I think not.
But this is still really cool as it is.
Yeah, I think not copying it entirely. I think that top enhance is kind of cracked.
I mean, it is just Dabby 2 and Dabby 3 mixed together. It basically goes. It's just double jab pummel in Dabby.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can form as many times as you want on that.
Yeah.
That form should probably been of once per turn, but
no, because
momentum is
it
quite a
depends.
big
Yeah,
cost.
it depends how much momentum you've got. That's the thing.
Probably should have been a once per turn. But like, if you think about the top enhance, right, every attack is a damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? From your opponent's perspective.
It's do you want to take 3 damage or give me +2 to my next check?
Yeah. So it's like again, it's turning everything double jab hubble because it's usually coming in for 5 or 6 damage, right? And it's like, do I take the hit or do I give you the looting?
I will
But
100% be playing if we decide this one. I will 100% be playing 4 manifests.
mhm. Yeah, it feels very good.
It's
Balance wise, I suspect I don't know whether I think that top ability is probably too good just as a E on every attack, just to say if you block it +2 to my next check. Like
can I
that
point
feels
can I point out that is not my turn only,
yeah.
so I can give your attack +3 and then block it and give my next check +2 to the block.
Yeah. Balance wise, it's probably a
I
3.
literally just realized that.
Um, Representing you, I think this is a really nice spin on Dabby and Double Jab Pummel. I think the way it's kind of taken those abilities and sort of flipped them on the head, but kept like the essence there, I think is really nice actually.
I think this
Um,
gets a 4.9 and it loses 0.1 points in one specific area.
mm,
It has one too many health.
I mean, that's either I don't think you did in 0.1 points. I think half points we've gone down to, so it's either a 4.5 or a 5.
It has to be a 5.
You make the choice.
I'll give it a 4.9, just that tiny margin off because it's one health over in terms of representing me, but in terms of balance, that also seems kind of nuts because you get a little bit more health
Yeah.
to play with on
Yeah,
those.
this is like a 3 on balance. And then
Did
in
you not
terms of
read the briefing
playability,
there, Peyton? Yeah, in the actual form it says you're making one for us. Anyone that wasn't named around us was just not included, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's a 5 in terms because it's Dabby and Double Jab Pummel, which gave me my bread and butter. In terms of balance,
yeah, I think it's probably a 3, just because I think that top enhance is probably a bit too good, and the form not being a once per turn is probably a bit too good. And then I play this character like it's very simple, right? But it's very good at what it does. It's going to, as long as it gets some amount of momentum, it's going to be able to draw into the attacks every single turn, and everything's getting +3 damage.
The way I look at
if
it
you're blocking,
is,
I'm playing through it.
Younger Toguro got a commit on his plus damage because he was able to keep stringing out attacks without paying anything.
Yeah.
This does the exact same thing, but it basically goes, it's got death, so I go, I'll play Battle Hour release. Here's my 4-10. Here's my 4-11, and if you block it, my next one gets +2 to the check.
Mm-hmm.
So his tray size, block it. It gets 3 damage. It's a 4 low for 6. Block it if you dare. My next one will get +2. Oh, I'll blow up a foundation. Echo. Checker 3 +2 to 5. Let's go. Here's my 4-6 again. If you block it +2. It's nuts because it's got the death symbol.
Yeah. I again, it's probably. I don't think it's like uber cracked, but it's pretty damn good.
It's very cracked against new players, if that makes sense, because they're very block happy.
Well, I find the opposite, to be honest. But also, like, it's a bit reminiscent of Wolfbird, right? +3 damage. But like, I think if blocked, your next check has +2 is very, very powerful. Like, it means you can always string out. So,
Oh,
yeah, I think it's like for me, it's like a 5-3-4.
for me, it's a 5-3-5. I'd slam this in
Yeah,
because being able to go first attack, twisting his Inferno, give it +3. If you block it, +2 to my next, and then if they haven't got any damage reduction going, yeah, now put +1 to all my checks, -1 to all yours. So if you block this, my next one's actually getting +3 to the check. I'm
yeah,
not failing my next attack. If Mop Strike was still around,
yeah.
oh, Mop Strike, why? This could rival Younger to Go as just absolute pain because you don't even give your opponent resources like you do with Younger
hmm
to Go, where you just let them build to it.
Or you play your first attack, they block it. Cool, my rejuve smash is now a 4.
When I saw this, because I checked like the morning of Sunday while I was writing, I messaged the person going like, Richard is going to immediately try to nerf that form because if what if like if the enhance keeps going through, then this form is just going to be insane.
Yeah, it probably should be a once per turn. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I think like probably yeah, but like it might even be a 2 on balance to be honest. So
I think it's a 3 on balance purely
hmm.
because it's a form, not an enhance for the discard one to discard 2, draw 2.
Yes, that means you just start your turn. It's like I've got 3 momentum, cool. I'll form, discard a momentum, draw 2,
Yes,
discard. No,
I'm
you've got
still
a
a
one.
6-hander, so discard 2, draw
Yeah,
2. I'm still
yeah.
6.
But filtering is sometimes as good as drawing, right?
Yeah, I think it's more designed towards like the end of the turn where I can go like attack, attack,
No, no, no.
attack,
You
build,
still,
build, build, draw 2 cards.
um, yeah. So again, you could do that because it's not latent skill and discarding 2 cards isn't part of the cost. So you could technically do it and draw 2 at the end. Or you just do it at the beginning of your turn to just like discard 3 momentum. I will filter 6. I've
Yeah,
now got the perfect kill string. And by the way, I can play all of them because if you block them, I'm getting +2 to my checks.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's a bit too good.
but I'm going to defend it because it's really cool. It seems to be
It's
like
cool. Don't get me wrong.
the opposite of the one we did last time, where that was like the ultimate defensive character. This seems like a very strong offensive character, and I do
Yeah.
like those. Everyone knows I like my early strings. Uh, then we have is this one of other names? Other guys. Yeah. So we got a couple more to go. Then we loop back round. So we got Brett Pendragon, Lord of Chaos, 25 health 6-hander. First form, at the start of your end phase, if you have no cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. Response, discard 1 card. After an attack is played, it gains +X or -X speed. X equals the difficulty of the discarded card. And first form, once per game until your next turn after an attack is played, draw 1 card. This ability cannot be cancelled. That form is nuts.
Yeah. It's the first form.
That lets me draw for
Draw
all my
2.
attacks and all your attacks.
Yeah. It's a once per game. It's very, very powerful,
Yeah.
but it is just extra cards, right?
100%, Stephen. That form that if my opponent has got 10 foundations, I'm low on life, and I just go. I didn't get to kill. I first form. I've drawn. I didn't get to kill you. I'll build out and go. Yeah, attack me. Let's see who goes. It just forces your opponent to build and pass.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Shigaraki 3, but more
Yeah,
unfair.
it's similar to being under the Shiggy 3 one, right? The Shiggy 3
I
one.
definitely think this needed a momentum cost like Shigaraki 3. Just being able to use it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Uh, the first form that says at the end, so first form basically is egging you to try and burn all your cards.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Void Water, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I guess water does the discard cards for stuff, so it sort of makes sense, right? Things like Prone to Dry Eyes and Asui's kit. So again, it makes sense to have water from a discarding cards perspective. obviously it's not giving damage, it's just doing speed, but is doing a conceivable, could be doing a lot of speed. But usually your the pattern here is you're playing your attacks, then discarding for like 1, 2, 3 speed, whatever from discarding a
I
foundation.
mean, you could discard a Titan Cliff and just go, you're not blocking this.
Yeah, yeah, you've certainly got those options, right? Um, the once per game is very very powerful.
For sure.
The rest of it seems fairly innocuous
Uh,
in terms of power level.
it would be if it didn't have Chaos and Void, which gives you access to Asui and on Chaos, and on Chaos and Void it gives you access to Suzuki's kit, which has a lot of when you discard it, do X things. So like Steel Burst, where it's if you discard it for cost, which this would be, you draw a card.
Yeah,
Uh,
but again, it's like you're getting 2 speed from that from
yeah,
discarding a card. Like it's not the end of the world,
I
right?
think
You got that on, like, if you think about, say, Deku 2, it was discard a card for +1/+3.
yeah,
Like, discarding a card for +2 speed ain't cracked.
no, but
Like, I think the first two abilities are fine. Like, they're not anything to write home about. The once per game is bonkers, but again, it's just drawing a bunch of cards.
it
Like,
is.
it's
But
very
you got to
good.
remember the fired effect will go off before the response. So you'll draw a card and then go, oh, this isn't the right block zone I need. I'll discard it for minus X speed so I can get going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it
Yeah.
is a once per game. Like, I think actually this is probably more balanced than you might think
Oh yeah,
because it's just
it
speed.
is. In
Um,
terms of incorporating me, I kind of see where they're going from here, but it isn't really me.
hmm,
So I'll probably go with free. Balance, definitely free. Because it's a very balanced card, like you said. It's not
yeah,
unbalanced in the wrong way, it's not unbalanced in. And I think playability, this is definitely a 4. This is definitely something I would enjoy playing.
yeah.
If
If anything, the life could be a bit higher, right? It doesn't need to be a 25 health, I don't think.
No.
But this could have been a 28 quite happily, I think.
You're happy with a 3-3-4?
Yeah.
Next one is Richard Plummer Storm Loop. This is a 40 health for 4-hander, so we finally got a bit more balance there. After
Okay.
the attack deals damage, ready this card. Enhance commit, you may block this attack with a card from your discard pile. If you do, reduce its block modifier to 0. Enhance commit draw 2 cards, and response commit after the attack is played. It gets plus X on minus X damage. X equals its block modifier. I mean, I guess it's a cool design. I don't think it screams of you.
Obviously, like, I don't know what the loop here is. That's what I'm trying to work out.
It's
Where is the loop?
the loop is you keep readying the character so you can keep doing abilities.
Yeah, and it's like you're not really a 4-hander with 40 health, right? You got enhanced commit, draw 2 cards. You're actually a 6-hander,
Yeah,
and uh, conceivably like more. Um, as if you get an attack to hit, then you could be more. But like in general, you're just a 6-hander. As long as you're on attack, you're a 6-hander. Um,
I think that enhanced commit draw 2 cards needs a once per turn slapped on it straight away.
Probably yes, especially with a static that readies you on both offense and
Yeah,
defense. So like that's just assery, right? Kinda similar. Obviously, she does it on block, but
yeah. She's not about.
and
This
also
is
then you've got the enhanced commit. You've then got an extra card from your discard pile, so you're actually a 7-hander. Um,
this is this is a bit. It's kind of a bit nuts with that enhanced commit. You may block from your discard or anything because it just means you can go find the perfect block. And with the Earth, All, and Order symbols, there's a
hmm.
lot. You can get Showdown. You can go pick up a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I definitely think the commit draw two cards could have been a response. Could have sorry the enhanced commit draw two. It should have had once per game slapped on top of it. Uh, I think the
yeah,
even the
face
top
shields become a 0.
yeah the top enhance could have possibly even just been a twice per turn because just being able to block with anything you discard.
Yeah,
But Suzuki does the same thing, I guess.
but he doesn't reduce the block
He doesn't yeah
modifier,
doesn't
right? And that's obviously a big
yeah.
deal. Um,
The response commit after the attack is played against plus X minus X damage is probably the most balanced thing on the actual card.
yeah, because you're generally doing what is like 1 to 3. So I mean, it's almost like you're never going to use that response because you're just going to either enhance commit to draw 2 cards or to get a free block. Like it feels like that response commit is something you're just never going to do because why would I do that when I can draw 2 cards?
You do it on yeah. You can. I mean, if you've already got a decent amount of attacks, or if you're running like the throw package, so you can just go
Yeah,
jaw jammer. Cool, I'll commit. It's coming as a too low for 7. Then I will too high for 7. Then I'll destroy foundation. It's
I'd,
two
I'd
11.
say this is very not me because I hate 5-handers, but this isn't really a 4-hander. I suppose it is very much a 4-hander going early, right? In terms of those early builds, that's where this card kind of falls down. So it is a 4-hander, right? So in
Yeah,
theory, it should be powerful. Like I don't, it's difficult. Like I don't necessarily know how to evaluate a 4-hander. Like it's not really because it's sort of you can ask a bit draw 2
I
cards,
think the aspect
but
of the
you need to
commits.
get those early builds where you are really a 4-hander and you do need to draw an attack in those 4 cards.
The
So
I think the minus damage is what you'd be using very early on because it keeps you alive as a four-hander.
yeah, yeah, quite possibly. Like, yeah,
Gouging Needle does get to laugh at that response because its block modifier is 0.
yeah. But like, someone attacks me for 6, I give it -2 or 3. I take 4 damage. Okay, I ready the card.
Yeah,
Like, and but like the commit works on defense as well, right? It's not like a offense only
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So yeah,
In terms of
I
you as a
I don't
person,
know how to evaluate from this as a balance perspective, so I'm going to go with a 3. I could see this being a 1 or a 5, right? But I think I'm just going to set in the middle on a 3. I think this is interesting enough that I'd actually want to try it as a 4-hander. So I'd say maybe like a 3.5. In terms of referencing me, I don't really get it. I like drawing cards, but like the storm loop thing, I'm confused a little. Um, so I'd say maybe a 2.
so a 2, a 3, and a 3.5.
Yeah.
I'd say that's fair. It's very good.
Yeah, it's a cool design. I don't know how to evaluate those things on a balance perspective on a 4-hander. I suspect it's probably still a little too good. That'll be my kind of gut feeling, but I might be wrong.
Okay, we've got our last 12. So these are the first ones that have been submitted now because we've sort of cycled back round.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Plummer, the Claymore, a 29 healther with 6 hand. UKVersus and Dad. Your high kick attacks get powerful 3 is just a static. Enhanced Tenacious, your kick attack gets plus X speed, X equals the amount of attacks in your card pool. And Enhanced Commit, add up to 2 cards from your card pool and or hand to your momentum. This attack gains stun X, X equals the cards added to the momentum this way.
Okay. I mean, you know what this is referencing, right?
Is it that wrestler? That you
Yes,
keep,
this is
yeah.
a Drew McIntyre thing. Like his finisher is the Claymore, where he just runs up and boots someone in the face.
Okay, see, the only claim I know is the anime, so that's
Yeah, well, a Claymore's just a massive sword, a massive Scottish sword, right?
it gives you a love of kicks. It has momentum on face.
Yeah, I do love kicks and missing momentum. Um, think I can guess who this one might be from.
It's in a
Um,
good order. The fact that you don't get to replace the cards is a bit iffy, but
But you can do it from your card pool, right?
Yeah, you can do it.
Um, like clearing 2 cards from your card pools are very powerful, which then kind of keys into the enhance,
Yeah.
right? Because you're then no longer getting so much speed.
But yeah, you give
But
it +3 speed. You clear 2 cards from your card pool.
hmm,
Then you get to play another one essentially with just +1 progressive.
yeah, and also you're giving it like, okay, and then yeah, you're removing your progressive, but you're studying 2 anyway, so you don't necessarily need speed.
Yeah, basically
Um,
that one's getting 5 speed. Essentially, is a pseudo 5 speed.
yeah. So and then again, your final kick then becomes a huge final claymore, right? Because you've got powerful 3, you've cleared 2, you've got stud X on that one. You've given it the 3. So like your third attack, you give it 3 speed, you clear 2 to momentum, give it stun 2, so effectively another 2 pseudo speed, and then you use those on your powerful 3 uh, to finish them with the claymore. Um, I like the idea. This is a really cool design from my perspective.
Who do you think made this one?
What's that?
Who do you think made this one?
This I believe this is likely to be one of our American friends. Um, yeah, I and like the UKVersus dad is a little giveaway as well. Um, yeah. Uh, balance wise, obviously it's very keyword locked, extent locked. That bottom enhance, I feel like, is probably cracked. Like clearing 2 cards to your momentum, with the option of saying, actually, I'm just playing this first attack. I want 2 cards of my momentum. Um, it doesn't say your turn.
Yeah,
So
no.
you could, in theory, give the opponent's attack stun 2 and clear 2 cards, right, to gain 2 momentum on their turn. It's like, this is your last attack. I don't care if you're stunning. I'm taking the damage. I'm just getting 2 momentum to then kill you on the backswing on my turn. Um,
The fact it also
I like.
says clear 2 cards, but
Hmm.
like attacks are also that, which means you can also play like the echo attacks, flip them, stick them into this momentum.
Yeah, you could just go foundation, foundation, attack, clear those 2 foundations to my momentum, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
I mean, getting to go is it rebound sidekick, where it's like if you block it, it goes to momentum, and if you don't block it, it eventually goes to momentum.
I do love a rebound sidekick, but it is
Oh,
a mid, but doesn't
that's
exit flash. Um,
no. I'm more thinking you go rebound sidekick. Either way, it's going to momentum. So then
no,
you
you
can,
do the new, UR, right?
but
The Eden UR that gives all your kicks +2 speed.
no, you can once rebound psychic gets into your momentum, you can go attack, attack, rebound psychic for 2 damage, give it 3 speed, put the first attack and the rebound psychic I just put in my card pool into momentum, which means you got another +2 damage ready to go.
Yeah. There's schmooze you can do with this.
That's
Balance
nasty.
wise, this feels this feels like a really nice package.
If set one was still around, this would be cracked, but the amount of kicks has diminished.
Yes, it really has, because I really like that new Eda Ultra Rare, and there just isn't the package to go around it,
That's
sadly.
the victory one, isn't it? For local qualifiers.
Is it? The one that gives +2 speed to all your kicks the rest of the
I'm
turn.
pretty sure. I don't know. It hadn't arrived, but it hadn't arrived
Okay.
yesterday, so I didn't get it. I have
Um,
to go get it at some point.
yeah. I think I'm gonna give this a 4. I think it's balanced around the fact that, like, obviously you're very keyword locked. I think that enhanced commit, the bottom one, is probably too good. Um, but yeah, I think I'd give it a 4 for balance. In terms of would I play this, I would play the shit out of this. This is a 5. I love kicks as long as there's a package there. I've been a long proponent of the kick package. I love it
I
so much.
can hear the voice of Sam Tate in the distance going, This needs the package. Package.
Mhm.
Package.
Representing me, uh, I'm going to go with a 4.5 simply because I don't think I really look like Drew McIntyre, but I don't know why they keep saying it. Just because I've got long hair and the beardy bit, but um, I get it, and I think from the Drew McIntyre ness of this card, it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think I'd go with a 4.5, 4, and a 5 for me.
I'm just gonna quickly look at one thing because uh, won't have the correct symbol, but I bet it can be done because it's gonna be insane.
And yeah,
Uh,
like Matt was saying, like you got the Deku kicks you could use with this.
so oh thank God, yeah, it's okay. If you had the giant keyword, you could play Electric Moth, which lets you ready your character, but you don't have the giant keyword.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting that's a giant only because it needs to be a giant only. But yeah,
Yeah,
no. Set one was like had all the amazing kicks. That's why like the Endeavor free list that won Worlds has never been repeated because a lot of the cards disappeared.
yeah, but yeah, no, it's a really cool design, and I
So
like it.
you went with 4.5.
4 and 5. Like I said, I think honestly the balance from a balance perspective, this almost I'm going to say actually 3.5 of the balance, just because I think that enhanced commit is cracked.
That's fair. So then we move to Brett Pendragon, that Dabby guy, UKVersus Dad and Dabby guy. This is a 35 health 5-hander with response once per turn. After you make a control check, you may add that card to your momentum. If the check was for a non-attack card, ability, that check gets +2. Enhance, spend X momentum, destroy any number of assets or foundations with a combined cost of X. X equals the number of momentum spent. And enhance once per turn, check a 6, add 1 momentum to your hand. Don't play any zero diffs against this guy.
I think X has to be at least 1, right?
It doesn't say that
So,
though. It doesn't say that.
no, but like it's the same as EX and powerful. Like you can't EX or powerful with
But then I
0
can't
momentum.
destroy zero cost foundations. The entire
Well, no, as long
effect.
as you spend 1 momentum, you can destroy all their zeros, right?
No, because it's
Yeah, because I
equal
spend 1
equals the equal
momentum.
where the combined cost of X equals the number spent with foundations. Oh yeah. So if I spend one, I if I spend one, I can blow up all their zeros on a one.
And all their face downs.
Another face downs. Get wrecked, Spike.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, this card is too good, right? Balance wise, it goes through the floor because probably that's an unintended um oversight to the effect.
I do love the idea because
Um,
it's not even my turn. Just I'll check a 5. Cool. First, I'll do my first tentacle. I'll get rid of momentum. Destroy all your face down foundations.
mm,
Like, oh,
I think what should have happened, it should have been destroy up to X assets or foundations, the combined cost of X, right? So, for
either
example, I
way.
spend 3 momentum, I can destroy a 2, a 1, a 0.
Oh, that you
That
mean
would
destroy?
be,
Discard one. Discard 3 momentum. Destroy 3 foundations.
yeah.
Uh, uh, I guess, but then you're kind of just making it a worse Karasu because you have.
Not really. Karasu needs to get to 6 and just kind of snipes off 1. This is like, I just got 3 momentum and snipe 3
Uh,
recommendations, right?
I guess you could also just do the discard momentum, destroy foundations who's equal to the control check of the destroyed of the discard of the spent momentum. So you get.
Yeah, I mean, going off wording, it's cracked in half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If we
uh,
assume that when it says destroy up to X assets or foundation with a combined cost of X, then that becomes a little more balanced. Still really good, but a little more balanced. It's just very much stage destruction. Once per turn.
So yeah, when I spoke to them about it, because this was like the first one submitted. The only change that was suggested when I pointed out it could destroy every zero cost foundation was should add minimum of 1 momentum.
Well, yeah, but I spend more momentum. All of your face downs and zeros are dead. That's too good.
I'm fine with this. It's a 500. You're going to outbuild me. You can just build back. It's fine.
No, it's not fine. Very much not fine.
I just love the idea of just second attack. I'll flip a foundation. Cool. Let's blow it up.
I like the fact that once per turn is a check 6, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you might spike a 6. Quite often, you actually need to spend a foundation. Like you need to commit a foundation to pick up one of your momentum.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's always going to be a minimum of commit 1.
Well, not necessarily. You might spike a 6, right? You might play a 6 check.
No. So the response once per turn after you make a control check.
Oh, I was thinking the enhance. Sorry.
Yeah, but the response works with the enhance. They combo off each other. So after you make a control check, you may add that card to your momentum. If the check was for a non-attack or ability, that check gets +2.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like, yeah. So you could use it on that to check a 4, right?
Yeah. So I get to. So even if I don't have anything, I can just go. I'll check a 6.
Get that card.
Make the check. Add that card to my momentum. Pick the card up for my momentum.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
But again, you might just get a foundation. So it's just drawing a foundation. So it's like drawing a card, which is fine. And like, so in that example, right? I check. So again, I think ignore the middle bit. This one works quite nicely. So I check a 6. I flip an attack, right? It was a 3 check, so it makes it a 5. I still have to commit 1 to draw that attack. That's fair. If it was a foundation, I checked a 7. I add that to my hand.
Me checking 1 to gain a momentum, add an attack back from momentum to my hand, and destroy all of your face down foundations seems very good. I'm okay with that 1 foundation being committed.
Yes. Yeah, I think the middle ability's cracked if it's played as red.
I think that's the kind of perfect ability you'd want on a PvE character.
Maybe, yeah. In terms of power level, like I say, just on that, I think it's a 2 or 3 like a balance thing because that middle ability is just cracked. I like what the top and the bottom things are doing together. I think that's a really nice design.
I think it's just
overpowered.
I think it's a nod to Dabby One's ability to destroy all of your ready foundations. And if that middle ability just said destroy ready foundations equal to that. So if you put the spend X momentum, if your opponent has played 3 attacks this turn, destroy X. Destroy foundations with
we're
combined
adding text that doesn't exist, right? So
yeah,
like I think just on face it's like a 2.
On face is absolutely nuts. Just destroying all your opponent's 0 cost foundations and face downs every single turn when Ochako 4 needs them, Spike needs them, Faye uses them.
Every single character has zeros and face downs, right? It's just gonna destroy for 1 momentum, destroying like anywhere from like 2 to 5 foundations.
You're on Chaos, Death, and Fire, which means you get seizing the advantage through fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts. So in terms of referencing you, I think it's quite a good one, right? In terms of like playing around with the momentum stuff and doing the check stuff, and the foundation destruction.
This isn't also limit. Actually, I'm just looking at it. This affects my board as well, right?
I mean, you can if you want to.
Well, I don't know. That's just it. Is it supposed to just limit itself to like? Is it supposed to be a target one? I guess it
No, because
is.
it's not like where the cost is X, right? It's not I spend 3 momentum,
Yeah,
I destroy all 3 diffs. It's I add up the cost of my foundations and they come to X. So if I spend 3 momentum, in theory, I could destroy 1 3 diff or a 2 and a 1 or 3 ones.
I think if
But
you
the
change,
trouble is
yeah, I
0.
think if you change that to spend X momentum, destroy all foundations that have a printed difficulty of X or less.
Maybe if it was X, spend destroy all of them with exactly X, right? So I can
Yeah,
spend more momentum to destroy just ones, spend 2 to destroy just twos. So it's a bit for those old school card players among us, it's a bit pernicious deedy.
yeah, because then all your opponent's zeros and face downs go, but so do yours,
Yes.
and
So
that's
you
that's a, that's an equivalent exchange.
yeah, yeah. That might be more balanced, but again, it's not how it reads.
No, it's not how it reads. It could be interpreted that way because going off who designed it, they are a very good player. It could have just been intended that way, but that's still very very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Um,
Matt would not have fun playing this, but yeah, it's a 2 on design. It's a 5 on when I play this because I would happily sit here and blow up all your face down foundations every
yeah.
single
And I
attack.
think for you, I think it's probably like a 4, would
Yeah,
my
no,
guess.
no. I mean, it doesn't do dabby things, but it doesn't also do not dabby things. It's very dabby free dab, and with like an S.
But again, it doesn't. Again, these cards don't have
No,
to be Dabby centric, right? They
yeah,
just
no.
have to be
I
you
like I
centric.
like manipulating
And this feels like
checks.
stuff that you would enjoy doing.
Yeah, 100%. This is a 4-2-5 quite easily.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh, this is another one of the big text ones. So this is Brett Pendragon, the Phoenix Flame of the UK. This is Lord League of Villains, DMS, Pro Hero, and Villain. Uh, it's, Static. You may add one copy of Double Jab Pummel from your discard pile to your hand at the end of your rival's combat phase. So before review and draw, so you've always got at least one in your hand.
Yeah. So it doesn't plus you hand size, but you're always guaranteed you've got a double jab pummel.
Exactly. I was going to
Brilliant.
have
Like
that mid
it.
attack. Enhance, you may give your charge or fury attack +3 damage. If this attack is blocked, you may look at the top card of your deck and discard it. If you have discarded a non-attack card this turn, your next check to play, the next check to play card gets +1. If you discarded a card this turn, you may ready one foundation in your staging that has not been ready this turn. That bottom enhance is a little bit powerful.
So if you have done your next check player card, if you have discarded an attack card, you may ready one product. Yeah. So as long as I review a foundation and at some point discard an attack,
So
every attack then gets +1 to my next check and ready something.
yeah, so after
Yeah.
my first attack, if I've discarded an attack after you block it,
Hmm.
my next check get my next attack doesn't get the +1, but my next check will then get +1, and then I'll just ready something.
Well, no, it reads like so. Let's say I start my turn, I review a foundation, I then tick the box for the +1.
Yep.
My first attack, I play a rewind throttle. I discard an attack to commit your foundation. To draw a card. I've now hit both things. I press this enhance.
Yeah,
I get
I
+1
think
to my check and ready something.
yeah,
Next attack, I've done both this turn already. +1 ready
I
something.
think immediately that bottom enhance needs changing to combat phase, so your review doesn't count.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's if you review a foundation, then immediately boom, yeah, I
yeah.
get +1 to everything apart from my first attack.
Hmm.
And then if you block that first attack, I can review and attack and then start readying stuff up as well. Charge and Fury is getting +3 damage is just yeah, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, but like, so again, this may be a rules thing where whoever wrote it wasn't necessarily certain how it works. So, for example, that middle enhance does not work with the bottom enhance, right? Because if you have discarded, that means specifically from hand unless it is otherwise. And the same, so
Oh yeah.
milling does not count as the discarding for the bottom one.
No, but I think the bottom enhance is more for you to go uh, play an attack.
My suspicion is that whoever wrote this wanted those two things to work together, right?
I don't think as much. I think they're more referencing like my usual play style of like back when I was playing W1, which was attack, then going to twisting Azure, then going to double jab pummel. Whereas with this character, I can just go Azure +1 to all my checks. Try and secure my next check. Double jab pummel. If you block this, my bottom enhance will go online.
Yeah. Again, my suspicion was they wanted the two to work together.
Yeah.
So the idea being, and so the way you'd word that right is if a non-attack card has entered your discard pile this turn from anywhere,
because
your
yeah,
next
in
check
the new
player
ruling
card
it
gets
would
+1.
in the new
If,
ruling it would
if
be
an attack card has entered your discard pile from anywhere this turn, this combat phase even, then ready a card on your stage, right? And that would make sense from that top enhance.
100%. Yeah, this was literally it wouldn't read discard. It might be like you may look at top card of your deck and mill it if you and you may mill it.
Yeah.
In terms of me, this is a solid 4. I mean, it's double jab pummel and Azure on a stick.
Yeah.
And I mean, the double jab pummel allow me to just keep looking for.
Wait. Is Azure a charge or fury?
It is a charge. It is a charge.
Oh, it's a charge.
Is a
I couldn't
charge
remember
range.
what it had. I knew it obviously had range. I couldn't remember what its other ones were.
I wouldn't have been playing if it wasn't charged. I 100% know it's charged. I
That's
thought I
fair.
had punch on it because of the swing, but no, it's a charge ranged. The lack of faith in this man from this
man. Yeah, I mean, I think balance wise, probably a 3.
Yeah, it's fairly balanced. It's not.
5.
It's. I'd probably say 3.5. I'd even bump it up to a 4 because that top static kind of forces you to play a card and your opponent knows to hold a mid block.
Yeah, and that's
So it's
fine.
very fair.
You don't care about them double blocking, double jabs, except when they barrier shield them.
Well, that's just it. I mean, it basically is highlighting to your opponent that I'm essentially a 5-hander because you know one of the cards in my hand.
Yeah.
So you know I have a free mid for 8 with a +1 high block.
Yeah, I could buy a 4 on balance, right? Because, yeah, just getting it in your opponent's turn means you don't get it during their turn because it's got quite a nice 1 high block on it, right?
So essentially, all it does is just say to your opponent, I have an additional card in hand, so I'm drawing less, and you know what one of those cards is.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels like maybe it's like a 4s across the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a 4 on playable, so it gives stats. The main issue is, like you said, just triggering that bottom enhance because you have to discard for it, and none of the abilities work with that.
Well, double jab itself does, right?
Yeah. I mean, double jab works with it. You could also use things like Beautiful Suzuki, which would do it.
Yeah. So there's ways of triggering it, right?
Yeah.
I suspect those the second and third abilities are supposed to work together, but that's been
And I mean, as it reads, you also get it from your review, which, if you wanted to, you pick up the double jab, you review the double jab, and then you get whenever you after that enhance, you just get to ready one foundation.
Yeah.
This is another one of those ones where it. Oh, I need to sneeze.
Bless you.
That's funny. The audio is just going to pick you saying "bless you" and then not me sneezing. So this is a 6-hander with 30 health. This card has a block modifier of 4 because I didn't put that on there because characters generally just have.
Yeah.
glitch response, which is its keyword. If your character has the keyword glitch, which it kind of has to for that, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
After you successfully block an attack with a copy of your starting character, you gain health equal to the starting damages attack. Instead of losing it, which I guess means it's a replacement effect, even or it's an omni block. It's a replacement effect.
After you successfully blocked out, you gain health equal to attack time instead of losing it.
As worded, that would be classed as a replacement effect, which means you don't lose
But you wouldn't gain anything because you're not losing any health. Well, I suppose,
on a
yeah.
half block. On a,
Yeah, I
with a
suppose on
throw.
a half block, like if doing 6 damage a half block, I take 3 and then gain 6.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's a replacement effect, so you just gain 6, you don't lose anything.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bit powerful because it just turns your character.
I mean, I suppose you've got to have. You need to have copies of your starting character, right, in order to do it. But
Yeah.
it still feels pretty good on a
So
30 health.
I am 4xing Broken Psyche in here for that ability when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
take damage from an unblock attack, just get a 6 check. Enhanced if you lose 3 health, if the last attack you played has blue in its name, after it resolves, you may play it again at no additional cost. So essentially, it just makes all your attacks with the name blue in it echoes with no
Mm-hmm.
momentum. Enhanced commit once per turn. Uh, your character gains X health. X equals half of the amount of cards in your momentum with the word blue in it. Well, I'm never using that because then I don't get to respond with my character.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, like once you've, I guess once you've blocked with the one character card in hand, you could then use the commit, right? Is
yeah.
this a Bluey reference
No,
or is this something else?
no. The blue would refer to things like blue flame torment, blue immolation, blue flame immolation.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the reference, why for you, right? Um,
Uh, Apparently, it was both. The Cyber Saiyan Dragoon or Dragon, as
I think
he's
it's
been
going to be
covered,
Dragon.
yeah, is pretty cool. But I think I'll say this is just freeze all around. You get it's
Yeah, I get the Bluey thing.
yeah.
Like it's just things referencing the blue stuff. Um, I think the blocking with character abilities, like it seems a bit too powerful of just saying, actually, I'll gain 6 life instead of
I mean,
losing any.
is it any more powerful than Ghidorah, who essentially can do the same thing without having to have one in hand?
Uh, Maybe I don't know. And then like giving everything echo for 3 health seems very good.
But you are limited
Um,
to dabby attacks, which I mean, Blue Flame Torment would be insane,
mhm.
but what other ones are you that scared of? Because Twisty Azure Inferno does not have blue in its name, so you're not too worried about that thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Blue Flame Palm Strike, I guess.
Blue Flame Palm
Um,
Strike again, it's a 5, so
mhm.
let's have a look. Blue attack. You got Blue Flame Eruption. You got all the new ones. You got Blue Flame Immolation, Blue Flame Torment, Blue Flame Smolder, Blue Flame Palm Strike, and Blue Flame Spiral. And then you've got
Okay.
the new ones.
So it's White Raven Gaming in chat is saying they did send a revision in with shades of blue instead. That would make sense. So like
I think
Azure being a shade of blue would make sense.
my only issue with that is it's a bit too vague for Shades of Blue,
Mm.
and you might end up with people trying to pull a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, yeah, it might just say with either blue, Azure, or something. You know,
Yeah,
a thing.
because
You know, I think it would need to be specific, right? But yeah, I think threes across the board. Like it's a cool idea. I think balance wise, that top one's probably a bit too good. I don't know how much you'd actually want to use the bottom one. and the bottom one unfortunately doesn't really work because um, your momentum is hidden. None of the blue stuff goes face up into
Yeah,
momentum, right? In which case it's always zero. So
you
unless you've
would
got
have
somewhere
to,
chink them in face up, which is awkward as
or
hell,
you'd
it's
have
not
to
going to
have
happen.
it as like a toga 2 thing of you reveal your momentum.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, there doesn't feel like enough attacks that do the blue thing for it to be useful. But again, and I get it's sort of references here and like with the whole bluey thing and blue stuff. But yeah, I think threes across the board feels fine.
Yeah, freeze boss across the freeze across the board seems perfectly fair by me. Then we have your counterpart to this character build, which is the Blue Crusader. Form once per turn. Your next attack with a shade of pink or purple in its name. Uh, it switches the value of its difficulty with its block modifier. Enhance, commit your rival reveals one card in their hand at random. And enhance, if the player's first or surname consists of 7 letters, your character's hand size becomes 7 until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
That bottom enhance feels a little bit.
On the nose.
It's not even on the nose. It very limits people who can play it.
Right. I got the joke now, White Raven. It took a bit. Um, if you haven't yet,
Yeah, I mean, I've just ever seen yeah,
it's plum, right?
yeah,
It's
plumber, yeah,
purple.
and then
Um,
you get a lot of the
min-
Minata
yeah,
because it has grape, which is a shade.
yeah, very vague in terms of like. Obviously, it would need to be very specific in terms of the card
Yeah,
to actually work.
I do. No, this is not to take away White Raven from what these designs. These designs are very cool. They're
Hmm.
just very open to interpretation, and as any judge will tell you, the more you open it up to interpretation, the lot more people try and abuse that interpretation, and it becomes a lot harder to actually resolve.
Yeah, uh,
My big thing about this is, you can play Black Abyss, right? If it shared symbols, I think it shares life because
no, 'cause it's not pink or
black
purple.
is
Right?
not a color; it's a shade.
It's shade of pink or purple, so it
Yeah,
doesn't work.
black is a shade of pink or purple. It's a shade of any color because it's an absence of color.
So it doesn't work.
So
Anyway,
anything that
I
had
don't know
white
why
or
I'm
black
Anya
in it, you
Forger right,
could.
as well. Why am I Anya Forge? I suppose Anya Forger looks at the entire hand, enhance commit to reveal one card in the hand at random. I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, it's a little on the nose with the plum
Yeah,
thing and being purple. I guess maybe you don't necessarily well, and that was kind of the only thing you had to go on. That's all good. Um, yeah, exactly. I mean, again, we don't have to be precise thing here, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. Um, again, I think there's probably another 3 across the board for me. It's a little too on the nose. Um, uh, the form is a little underpowered, just like making a random attack a 2 difficulty rather than a 4.
well, you can make it a 1 difficulty because it switches block modifier, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
I think it could have been an enhance, so you could use it on defense as well. That would have been cool.
Hmm.
Um, no, because that wouldn't work, right? Because you're just making the block modifier much worse. It doesn't even work on defense. What am I
No, I
talking
think
about?
threes across the board is perfectly
Yeah.
fine. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left, and it's 10 to 11. So,
Mhm.
again, we appreciate everyone this, but we're going to try and just blast through these last ones.
Yes, especially as we've got to speak to someone after this briefly, Brett, if you've not seen.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. So we've got Manryu, which is yours. It's got uh stream. Okay. And it's got it's got some keywords. A bit I had to read on.
Green fitter brawler. Think of the card rescue specialist, but with a hench Mario.
There you go.
Okay.
Your weapons attack gain +1 damage as a static. Enhance once per turn. Add 1 mushroom counter to this card. Enhance the Scale mushroom counter from your stage. Increase your maximum health by size by 1 or gain 1. Response after your opponent plays an attack with a water attribute, it gains 2 speed. It loses 3 speed or 3 damage. It's very limiting.
Yeah, I don't.
It works well with Kiki stuff because it's more mushroom counters.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. But wait, let me look at rescue specialist. I do not remember that card. Bless you. Okay. I'm not getting the joke here.
No, do not drive home at midnight with the windows down in shorts and a thin t-shirt. You will get ill.
Oh God. Right. Okay. Yeah. See, that's me being dense. I get it. Right.
You get it now?
Yeah. I get it, Matt. Thank you.
This wasn't even Matt. This wasn't even Matt's thing.
No, but he got it and I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool idea. It's also spelled differently. It's Blubber spelled with a B.
Faster. Come on. We're supposed to be speeding this.
Yeah. Again, I think it's cool. It being just sort of an anti-water thing feels a bit weird. But again, it's a plumber thing. I think it's probably quite fair, if not, and like it's probably like probably a 2 on my actually desire to play this card. Balance is probably a 4. It's probably fine. Referencing me again, I think it's a 3, like a 3-4-2.
Brett Pinkflame is a UKVersus Dabby fanatic. Enhance once per turn, add 1 Dabby character card or 1 Mina character card from your discard to your stage. Immediately, unfortunately, that doesn't work. Response: destroy 1 Mina in your stage after an attack is played against +2 speed and +2 damage. Destroy 1 Dabby in your stage after an attack is played against +1 speed. If it gets -2 speed and -2 damage. Response once per turn: destroy 1 Mina and 1 Dabby card in your stage after an attack is played against Flash. The main issue is without that character identity, they'll get built and then they'll be immediately kicked from the stage because they're not my character identity.
Assume this card has a static that says you can do that, right?
Even if it did, I don't even know if you can do that in current standard. In retro, sure, but I don't think there's been
Let's assume this has a static that says I'm breaking the rules and letting you do that, right?
Okay, yeah. So it's abusing the golden rule. That's fine, but going from there, +2/+2 to 1 attack, or -2/-2 to 1 attack each turn is cool.
Yeah, I like the idea of adding the Dabbies and the Minas, and just you can sort of stack them up and use them as you want, or get 2 and then give it something flash on both offense and defense. Pretty cool.
So
I think maybe something a little more exciting than giving it flash would have been better if it was 1 of each.
When you're giving stats with the character, this feels more like a defensive ability for me, the same as like Toru 1.
Yeah, and sometimes just -2, -2 might have been just better anyway.
But the one thing to remember, Matt, is unless the card specifically tells you what rule it's breaking, sort of thing, like this card would have to say you may
That
have
doesn't
these
matter.
characters in your stage. It doesn't work because I tried to argue the golden rule over Mina 1 attacking turn 1 because it says I may play it. It's like, unless it specifically says you may attack on that response.
We can
turn
hand
1.
wave it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. This is like a character design contest. We can hand wave that shit. It doesn't matter.
Uh,
This is cool. I like the idea of, like, you having these characters and then stacking them for the plus thing. So
I think this is a 3-4-2. Having to play 8 characters in my deck that don't do anything until they hit the discard, especially as 6 costs.
yeah,
If I draw my opening hand and it's 1 foundation, 2 attacks, and 3 characters, I'm going to be very sad.
yeah, that's fair.
Oop, that's already been taken, so I'm going to have to just space that a little bit. But yeah, that's part of why I'm speeding up as well, because I know we've got to speak to the powers that be as well.
That's been delayed till tomorrow.
That means that's
And for those in chat, I'm going to
did you message you that
stuff.
directly?
We've got exciting stuff coming up, but we cannot talk to you about. There we are. You on that one?
Got some very, very cool stuff in the works. Yeah, but that's Beretta Jetta, Red Pendragon, Assassin Marksman. First enhance your ranged weapon gains +1 speed, +2 damage for the rest of the turn. Okay. Immediately, that's very powerful.
Yeah, that could have been a first form, but like,
Marksman
I
response.
suppose it's everything and just sort of keep stacking up.
Yeah,
right?
that's it. It keeps stacking. But it has to be a ranged weapon attack, I guess. Which, how many of those are there?
Fair enough.
Marksman response: if your attack deals damage, your next attack cannot be partially blocked. Only playable if your character has the marksman trait, which is a character ability to be on there. Assassin response: you can just put responses on there because these are on the character. After your attack resolves, mill your deck until you mill an attack. Add it to your hand. Only playable if your character has this. Yeah, but those ones weren't really needed. So let's have a look. I know there's ranged weapons in Critical Role because there had to be.
Yeah, let's not worry about that too much. I like the marksman. If it deals damage, your next attack cannot be partially blocked. It's pretty cool.
Oh, never mind. With Nagant and Momo. Okay. Yeah, no, this is just too busted.
Mhm.
You can Death Evil Void. No, you can't. Black Abyss on that would just be nuts. Yeah, I think in terms of being me, unfortunately, this gets a 1. I don't, apart from Mob Strike, I don't think I've played weapon packages. Depends on which one yours is. I think that's how is it?
Yeah.
In terms of balance, I think that first ability is just cracked.
Yeah, it probably needs to be a first form, right?
Yeah,
and then it'll be fine.
the fact you could our first form once per turn. First
form would be fine.
Yeah, first enhance once per turn. But apart, yeah, the fact that it just goes 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8. Just get that's.
I like the idea of the middle ability. That seems pretty cool. And then
the middle ability, and then the bottom response, which is a commit, so you can no longer first enhance, is very balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's easy 3 for balance because that first enhance it would have been higher, but that first enhance is just cracked.
Yeah.
And then playability, given on its symbols, you get a lot of the Nagant stuff and you get a lot of the Toga stuff. I think this is probably a 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's so quick. Oh no, let's see which one. think we might be coming up to yours now. Yeah. Okay, we're coming up to yours now. We have Richard Stormer Blades Plumber. Enhanced attack gets -1 speed. Your next attack gets +3 damage. Hey, that's a dabby thing. Get out of here. What are you doing? Response once per game. If you check a 1, add the check card to your hand. You pass the check. That's once per game as well. So that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Just again, I think it could have been a once per turn, to be honest, given it means you have to check a 1.
I think because you pass the check, if it was you check a 1, add it to your hand, because you don't even have to pass the check to add that to your hand.
Yeah.
So I think if it read once per turn, after you check a 1, you add it to your hand. You may failing this check does not end your turn.
Maybe.
Rather than going, you've passed this without having to commit any foundations, and your next one.
Yeah, I think this could have been once per turn. I like the -1 speed, +3 damage, slightly Ibarra-esque, right? Yeah, actually, once per turn could be you recheck, right, rather than passing the check.
Recheck would have been a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, the -1 speed for the next attack gets +3 damage is like it's quite a cool trade-off because it's saying you can block this one if you want, but my next one's coming in with +3, right? So the -1 speed maybe doesn't matter. Maybe means they're more incentivized to block this one, but actually you're going to give the next one +3, so maybe they don't. And so like it's a cool little game there.
Yeah, your first attack always gets -1, so it is pretty much always going to get through, and then everything but your last attack getting +2 essentially is very, very good.
Yeah, and also then works on defense as Matt says.
Yeah,
but that's like similar to Ibarra, right?
Yeah.
Ibarra does exactly the same thing. She goes -1, and then your next attack gets +3. So it's exactly the same the way they're worded, and that's fine. Like Ibarra just gives -1 to everything.
Yeah, it feels very Ibarra and Dabby 1. The first attack generally always goes through because the damage to the next one is always overshadows it.
Yes. So it means the -1 speed doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
Right. So I like that sort of in the design. Yeah, I mean, this is trying to change stuff. I like it. And has that little bit of defense there by getting to do the sort of Ibarra-esque thing. For me, I'd say this is probably like a 4 balance-wise. I think, if anything, it's a little underpowered with that being once per game. I think it could be once per turn and you recheck, and I think it'd be more there. So I'd say probably like a 3.5. And would I play this? Yes. So probably like a 4.
3.54. Cool. Next one is Brett Altwing Compen Dragon. It's a 32 health 5-hander, probably a nod to Chew. Enhance your turn. Your rival mills 2. If they mill 2 cards of the same, you win the game. That's dumb. That's immediately just going to go, yeah, okay, cool, let's go.
But they have to literally be the same card, right? Not the same type.
Oh, you have to be the same card. Okay, that's better. Still not impossible. How many times have you done that?
Yeah, but it's not straightforward.
Enhanced commit.
Yeah,
enhanced commit 1 foundation. Remove the top card of your rival's discard pile. You may add 1 foundation from your discard pile to the top of the. You may add 1 foundation from the top of the discard pile to the top of the deck. Cool. Response at the start of your rival's combat save meal 3. Your rival's first check to play attack gets -X. X equals the number of block zones you mill this. Different block zones you mill this way. It's a Order Chaos Void.
Cool, because it's like that first alt win con. You're never really gonna hit the 2 the same. You might do. You're never realistically gonna do it. but you are milling them too every single enhance on your turn, right? So you're doing a bit of night eye shenanigans.
Uh,
And yeah, if you've got some way of
I
like,
can, I can,
zeroing
I
and
can,
getting
I
it.
can, I can do this consistently. This is a broken one.
Mm.
So I go attack, rooftop vantage. You have this foundation on top of your deck. Commit one foundation. Remove the top card of my rival's deck, and then add that. If they've got that, your copy of that foundation in the discard.
Yeah, there's ways of breaking it, right?
Oh no, yeah, you remove the top card deck, so you have to look at the top 2 cards of the deck. A bit harder. Okay, this is a lot. It's a lot harder to do.
No, rooftop vantage lets you look at the top card of their deck, right?
Yeah, but then you remove the top card of your remove the top card of your rival's discard pile.
Yeah.
You may add one foundation from the discard pile to the top of that. Yeah, so rooftop vantage just breaks this.
Yeah. But if you see an attack, then you don't get to do it, right? But yeah, you've got night eye attacks on certainly on order that lets you stack stuff.
Yeah, I think the fact it has order makes this a lot more consistent than it was probably.
But you do love an alt win con.
Do I? When have I played all win cons?
You're obsessed with them. Whether you play them or not, you do it. Like you were the person that cried the most about the alt win con never appearing. You love the whole Chew knife edge death.
I do love knife edge deathmatch because it's so thematic.
Yeah, and
everyone complained that we were promising alt win con that never showed up because we were so sure.
But you were definitely the loudest voice for that.
Oh, I know. I think there was someone else in the main Discord that was a bit louder than me, but Pamphlet. Oh, okay. I have played Pamphlet on TTS. This is true. Yeah, spreading the word is absolutely nuts. But yeah, sure. For
maybe like a 3.5 balance wise, yeah, probably a 2 because it's probably too easy to pull off. And would you play it? That's down to you.
I'm going to go with a 3 for me because it abuses game mechanics, and I do love that. Two for balance. And yeah, I definitely play this on 4. I think it's a 5-hander, so having to trying to get a hold of the rooftop advantage, you have to wait till it's kind of perfectly lined up. So you kind of have to build to get it, but it's just too powerful.
Yeah, the top 2 is probably too easy to do, right?
100%. The fact is just commit a foundation. You get to just add a foundation to the top of the deck, especially when you're on the order chaos void symbols, which means you can even just commit one foundation, stack the wrong block zone on a foundation that does nothing against your deck, and then go chivalrous.
Yeah.
This is a very, very powerful card, and I do love it, but it's a little bit of it. Last 2. So I'm also getting a bit fristy because I'm Polly. What is with the 5-handers? When did I become the 5-hander guy? Brett Pendragon, that Dabby guy. 30 health 5-hander. Enhance once per turn. Your rival commits a foundation for each attack in your card pool. It seems very powerful defensively. Response: destroy foundation after an attack is played against +2 or -3 speed. Response once per turn. After you destroy a foundation, this turn draw 1 card and gain 2 health. So I mean, those 2 abilities together work really well.
Yeah, that feels reasonably fair. Excuse me. Yeah, I think the top enhance should probably. Well, you say that, but it means you're having to block with attacks, right?
Oh no, I get to block the cheerful uppercut. Let's go.
Yeah, so like as a 5-hander, you're blocking with your attacks.
Yeah,
which can be a bit iffy. Like you've blocked with 2 attacks and you get to stun them 2 on their turn, and then maybe get to do it on the swing back as well. Like I don't think it's necessarily that bad. Like
you're missing
balance wise, this feels pretty fair as a 5-hander, right? You're not really adding damage.
It's all about speed. It's all about you get to. I mean, you're technically a 6-hander for the cost of 1 foundation.
Yeah. like, if anything, it might be a little underpowered.
I think that response needs to trigger when you've destroyed a foundation, not if you've destroyed a foundation, because there's no response trigger.
Yeah, I mean that's just wording. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's like it's a response once you've destroyed a foundation. It's fine. Yeah, maybe like 3.5 from a balance perspective. Would I play it personally? No, I hate five-handers, but
Uh,
like this isn't really my jam.
no,
But
I'll say this is a 2, 3.5, and a 3.
Mhm.
It's decently powered, and it's something I'd play 2 locals and have some fun with, but it's not something I'm ecstatic like I would jump to play, especially on a 5-hander.
yeah,
And the last one is Richard Plummer Stormer Blades. Response once per turn after you block an attack, you may play your block as the blocked attack. So you just get to copy your opponent's attack as a reversal.
Then after you block an attack, you may play your block as the blocked attack.
Following all restrictions, if you did it gets +1 speed and damage, enhance, lose 1 health, your next check gets +1.
Yeah, that wording on the top one is just very weird. I assume it means we're trying to do a reversal here, right?
Yeah, so you block with your foundation or asset or whatever, and then it becomes a copy of the attack that was
That
just
you've just
played.
blocked with
Yeah.
+1 speed and damage.
Exactly.
Okay. And then enhancing lose 1 health, the next check has +1 is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty good. But again, you're 21 health or so.
You're 21 health, but I mean, depending on who you're up against.
Yeah. Yeah, this is no reverse character, right? It's just actually no you.
It's a great
It's
combo
cool.
breaker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think reversals. I'm not a fan of necessarily having reversals in the game, so
I feel it should have been more of a me card. In all honesty, I
mm,
did ask for reversals to come back.
yeah, I think reversals are fundamentally a bit broken. So would I play
What
it?
happens if you copy an echo?
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole lot of rules overhead
Let's
and
go.
horrendousness here.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, I do like that top ability. I think that top ability is very, very cool.
but yeah,
But
there's so many
it's very powerful.
rule. Yeah. I'd say this is like a 2-2-3 for me.
Fair enough. It is 11, so we might have to. Are we just going to tally up the scores and come back with the top ones, or do you?
If you've not got them handy, then we can do that on next episode.
I basically just put the scores we gave them. So if I add up the scores, then we come back on Sunday with, say, the top. Do you want just the top point earners, or like the top how many?
So we want the top points for me, the top points for you, and then I think we want at least one sort of random door prize, right? In terms of you entered, so you're in the mix for a prize.
Yeah, well, we've got the giveaway that's still going. I'll just quickly do
Mm.
another, which will go for another stream. And then, yeah, I think top 3. I think top 3 point earners, because we might have some that clash.
Yeah,
is the best way to put it. So if we come back with top 3, personal favorites is going to be an issue because Richard's going to pick his favorite. I'm going to pick the most broken because this is what I do.
like a certain amount of that personal favorites has gone into the scoring, right? So,
Yeah, that's just it. So I think we scored these ourselves with a bit of help from Sam taking us to that. So I think if we come back Sunday with the
after
top,
Brett's had time to sleep and then run numbers and things, then we can work out who the top 3 are. And we can announce that first thing on Sunday.
First thing on Sunday, we'll do top 3. We'll finish this off and then mate. Are you gonna be okay for Sunday with pre-release?
It might be a bit. We might have to start a little bit later, but it should be.
Yeah, so I think we can bang out the winners from that very early on, and then we can go on to a Girl Power tier list,
Yeah.
which I think is good for release. Excel pivot table, let's go. There we go. But yeah, it's 12:15, 11:15. I need sleep. So we're probably gonna end it there. Sorry to make this into a 3-part, guys, but it went on for 2 hours again. Usually
Yeah.
I would tough it out and just end it here, but I am knackered. So
Right. Everyone in chat, thank you for watching. Everyone watching on YouTube, as always, thank you very much for watching, supporting the channel. Click the like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks so much, guys. Much love, and we'll see you on the next one.